Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. My plan for this beautiful early spring day, I should say late winter, early spring day. It's not quite spring yet, but my plan for today is to work in my orchard garden. So in my orchard garden, I have this beautiful pathway that I am absolutely in love with. I love having a pathway through my garden just because it makes it so much more accessible for me to reach certain areas of my garden. So it's something that I would have never thought about had I not had a landscape designer come in and help me. My friend Michael Glassman, who I actually wrote a book with called Solving Problems in the Landscape, he helped me design my garden, and I am so happy with how it's coming along. So in my last property, the landscape, the hardscape was already done. It was really beautiful. It had all these pathways and these raised beds, and it was a gorgeous property. And I just got to do the fun stuff. I just got to add the plants to it, which was wonderful. And one of the things that I did, one of my most favorite things I did at that property, was I lined my front pathway with Lemon Coral Sedum. So Lemon Coral Sedum is an annual from Proven Winners that it's actually considered, it's a temperennial because it's hardy in my zone, and it's an evergreen, and it is one of those plants that just shines. I always like to talk about plants that you can see from way far away and just call you and make you want to come and walk over to the plant, and Lemon Coral Sedum is one of those plants. So when I planted my pathway at my last property with Lemon Coral Sedum, it made it look like almost, I would joke and I would say it was an airport runway, and it was just guiding people up to our front door, and I absolutely loved it. So I copied that same look in my new garden here, and I only did it in this place right here because this was all the Lemon Coral Sedum I could get my hands on last season. But I have to say, I am so in love with it. Whenever I want to come out and I want to take pictures of my garden, I always come out to this area. Now it's kind of dormant obviously because it's only February, but I would always come out and I would always take pictures right in this area because this is where the Lemon Coral Sedum was. And I just felt like it just made everything look so finished and so beautiful. And you can see the Lemon Coral Sedum, this is kind of what it looks like during the winter. Like, you know, it's fine. It's still green. It's still that chartreuse green, but trust me, come spring, oh my goodness, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So you can see where I stopped right here, and I couldn't decide if I was going to continue on, but having loved this so much and I just loved this border, I decided, yeah, I should continue on. So I got my hands on a whole bunch of Lemon Coral Sedum for this year, and that's what I want to do today is I want to plant my Lemon Coral Sedum. I think I am going to have a couple breaks, like for instance, this is my Verbena de la Mina. I think I'm going to take a break there and then start on the other side, keep coming down the pathway, all down here. I'm going to come down the pathway, and I'm just going to get as far as I can with the amount of Lemon Coral Sedum I have. I think I have 80, I want to say, Lemon Coral Sedum, which is absolutely crazy. That is so much. But I'm just going to see how far I can get. And then of course, just keep adding as time goes on. So hopefully this whole pathway will be a Lemon Coral Sedum pathway, and it'll be like my last house where it's like a airplane runway, and it's just guiding you along this beautiful pathway just to see what else, like what's around the orange tree, you know? And I can imagine it, and I just think it's going to be really gorgeous. So for size, Lemon Coral Sedum can get anywhere from 3 to 10 inches tall, and then it can get up to 12 inches wide. And that's usually how I space my Lemon Coral Sedum, is I actually lay out my drip irrigation. And what you can do is you can get drip irrigation with emitters in it every 6 or 12 inches. And normally I would use the 12-inch emitters. We actually don't have any of that right now. We just have the 6-inch emitters. But basically every other emitter I will be planting a plant, and that will grow together just like it did over there, and just like it did at my last property. So Lemon Coral Sedum is actually one of my picks for my Best for the West collection for this year. For Proven Winners, I picked out I basically curated a collection of plants that do really well basically in the Western United States. So places that maybe have not as much rainfall as other parts of the United States and have really hot summers. And this plant is just absolutely perfect perfect for it. It's like nothing. It's like the heat of the summer just does nothing for this plant. So I do like to keep it irrigated. I know it's a succulent, it's a sedum type plant, but I do like to keep it irrigated because it just kind of looks a little bit nicer if you keep it irrigated. It will spread a little bit, but it's really easy to just kind of cut out with a hori-hori knife and keep it growing where you want it to grow. So this Lemon Coral Sedum is hardy zone 7 through 11. If you are on the lower end of that, it might die back and then come back in the spring, but at least for us here in zone 9, it's definitely an evergreen and it stays green throughout the winter. Now I do have to say it does spread a little bit, and I've noticed that every once in a while I'll get a plant that will kind of spread into the pathway or spread into an area where there's no drip irrigation, and then it starts not looking good, and sometimes I'll just want to pull it, and maybe that's after a couple years or something like that. So you just kind of want to watch it, and you just kind of want to see how it looks, kind of tend to it. But it's a fabulous option for a border plant. It's a fabulous option for a potted plant. You can put this in with your container plantings. For a monopot, it's really beautiful. It's just such a great plant. I'm so impressed with this plant. I love it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out my drip irrigation. I'm going to connect it from where I started over here, and then I just kind of line it all the way along this metal border, this metal edging that I have along my pathway. And then of course every other emitter, so every 12 inches I'll put a plant. So I don't even know how far I'm going to get. We'll see. It's kind of just a multiple year project to see how far I can get this Lemon Coral Sedum going down my pathway. And then I'll come through with my auger and just dig the holes and then plant each plant, and it makes it really, really easy. Did you find 12 inch? Oh, Jason found 12 inch. Thanks, babe. So Jason found one more roll of 12 inch emitter, or 12 inch tubing. So basically you can see here's the little emitters that are in the 1/4 inch tubing. They have, do you remember what it was? Was it a gallon? 0.8 gallons per hour, which is plenty for the Lemon Coral Sedum. And then you can see the one that I was using has another emitter 6 inches down, and then here's another one on the 12 inch one. So for the Lemon Coral Sedum, you really only need the 12 inch one. We're going to use both just because we're running low and we have to make a big drip irrigation purchase, right?
Either the wholesale place or online.
I think we'll just do online. We'll do that Drip Depot place is pretty good. So
sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
We need lots.
Are you helping me with this?
It's up to you.
Did I just rope you in? Thanks, Jason.
Anytime.
Okay, so here's where we're at. We started over where the old Lemon Coral Sedum was, all the way down here. I skipped the Verbena de la Mina. Then I started going all the way on this side, and then I decided to stop over here once we get to the Raspberry Superbena, because the Raspberry Superbena is going to spread out to 2.5 feet wide, like in diameter. So I've planted that so close to the edge that it's going to spill over, which I love that look. So I decided to stop the Lemon Coral Sedum right there. Over here on the other side, where the Lavender River is, I decided to continue going all the way down until we hit the Scaevola, which is just on the other side of Jason. Right there. I'm just assuming that that's going to come back. It still looks green. It still looks healthy. Like, I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers that this plant comes back and starts blooming again this season. So the big question was, because we were stopping the Lemon Coral Sedum right where the Superbena raspberry was just planted, the question was where to pick it back up. Because basically if I picked it back up right after the Raspberry Superbena, then you come this way, and then right here we have Cat's Pajamas Nepeta, which you cannot see right now, but trust me, it's there, and it's going to be spilling over the side of the pathway as well. Then I also have the Helen von Stein Lamb's Ear, and then the Surefire Rose Begonia, and all of those are spilling over the pathway as well too. So I didn't really want to do like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start with the Lemon Coral Sedum. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it back there over by the Super Beaner Raspberry, have a break all the way here, and then starting right after the Surefire Rose Begonia, which is right there, start it in again. And then I'm walking backwards and I'm gonna trip over Monty's Frisbee. Then once it starts right there, it can continue all the way to the circle that I'm in. And on the other side of the scavola, on the right side, that can continue all the way down. So just a little bit of a break, but I think it'll look really pretty once everything's all grown in. It's gonna look like that overgrown garden look that I really love. All right, everyone, we ran out of light. Well, it wasn't last night. It was actually the night before that we were putting this Lemon Coral Sedum in. Jason and I worked until it was dark out, but we got everything done. I was going to film this the next morning, but we had two guys coming over to help us finish putting in the pathway in the center island. Let me show you how good that looks. I love it. I think it looks so good. So we decided to just do this is called 3/8 inch gravel. It is made out of the same stuff that our decomposed granite is made out of, but it's just bigger rocks. And this is what we have in that patio right there in between the diamond stones. And we also have this in the greenhouse. And I decided I think I like it a little bit better than the decomposed granite. And so we asked the guys, we got a pile of it delivered, and we asked the guys, and Jason was doing this, and they did it so quickly that we had some time left and we had some gravel left. So I said, you know what? This needs another layer. Do you think you could put some on this pathway? And they said, sure. And so they started putting it on this pathway. And what do you know? The whole thing is covered with this beautiful gravel and an orange that I need to pick up. But look at how good this looks, you guys. Oh, I'm so excited. So this is what happened yesterday. And then the pergola guys are here. We have stairs. There's just so much fun stuff going on. Oh, it's just that time of year, but we did get all the Lemon Coral Sedum in, and it looks beautiful. So this is where we started with the Lemon Coral Sedum. So this is the old stuff that we installed last year. This is the new stuff. The new stuff will grow in very quickly to match the old stuff. I know, because at my last property, this is kind of how I did it too. I did it piecemeal like this, not on purpose, just a matter of trying to get my hands on enough of the Lemon Coral Sedum. So you can see where we lined it. We did take some breaks for one reason, because I know that a lot of these plants are going to spill over the pathway. For instance, this raspberry superbena is going to be spilling over the pathway, so I definitely wanted to have a break there. The whirlwind blue scavola over up here on the left is going to be spilling over the pathway. And then, like I was saying 2 days ago to you guys, but you guys just saw that about 5 minutes ago, the Cat's Pajamas Nepeta and the Helen von Stein Lamb's Ear is going to be spilling over. So we stopped this side over there, took a big break, and then picked it up back over here. Now, ideally, I would have wanted to pick this side up right here, right where the Surefire Rose Begonia starts, but this is all that we had left. And so I had to kind of spread it out to make it, like space it out as well as I can. Look at how good this gravel looks with the almond blossoms on it. Doesn't that look beautiful? Oh, I love it. So I do have this little patch of lemon coral sedum over there that I'm tempted to dig up and transplant so I can finish off this border over here. I might do that, or I just might be patient. I don't know. So anyway, you can see from the big circle right here, we started off on either side. The right side goes a little bit longer, and the idea was to bring it all the way over to the scavola, which starts right where Monty's Frisbee is. So we're missing maybe 2 or 3 plants right there. I'm sure we'll get to that at some point. All this scavola has been bent back over because of putting the gravel in. I gotta go back and fix that. Doesn't this look good? It looks so nice. So anyway, then after the scavola ends, the lemon coral sedum starts in, and it continues all the way along this pathway. Again, there's going to be plants over on this side, so it will make more sense why there's no lemon coral sedum on this side. Right here in between the Breath of Heaven and the cat's pajamas, there's kind of this blank spot that I'm gonna have to fill in with some more annuals just to make it make sense why we didn't continue the lemon coral sedum right there. So hopefully I'll be able to get something in the ground there soon so it starts growing. And then we picked up the lemon coral sedum again right after the Super Bean raspberry and continued it on. And my plan is probably next year, I will continue the lemon coral sedum all the way down this way. On this side, I'm not too worried about it because this dead mass, or what looks like a dead mass, is the Evolvulus Blew My Mind. And I thought it died, but when I said that in a garden tour, a lot of you messaged me and said, no, that's what mine looked like over the winter. Cut it back, and then it should grow back. So everybody cross your fingers. I'll keep you updated on this Evolvulus Blew My Mind and see how it does and see if it grows back, because that will be really nice because that covers the pathway. And then this plant, this succulent looking plant right here, is called a Spectabilis, and it's really beautiful. You can kind of see the bloom right there. That's the bloom. It blooms really prolifically. It's really, really beautiful. And you can see that that's grown over the pathway as well. So yeah, I think it looks very, very pretty. And I'm really proud of Jason and I for getting this all done and staying out here late. That was kind of our first late gardening day of the season. Here's a really good example of the lemon coral sedum spreading. So I came in here and I cut back the lemon coral sedum, and you can see that these are specks that kind of, like I just left out there, and they rooted in. So they're really easy to root in by itself, and they do spread. So you just kind of have to watch it a little bit. It's not out of control at all. You can see I have tons of other weeds in here that I need to come and take care of, but it will spread a little bit. So it's just something that you have to kind of watch. And if you want it to stay in a certain spot, you kind of have to come in and you have to clean it up. What is it? I saw lizards out earlier today, so I have a feeling he's finding lizards. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you guys is what the girls is on. So the guys just left for the day. They are almost done with this. They have one more piece, right? Am I seeing that right? One more piece over by Monty, and then they're almost done with the stairs right here. And then they even started opening up the gazebo to install the gazebo. So there's just so much fun stuff going on. Let's see if there's a picture on the box so you guys can see. Nope. I'll put a picture on the screen right now of what the gazebo looks like. And just as a side note, we are going to be painting that gazebo white to match the house. So I think it'll look really good. So anyway, we've got our second big annuals project of the season done. Our beautiful lemon coral sedum border. Are you trying to get up? Oh. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.